President of the United States and the executive branch cannot decide unilaterally that they're not going to appropriate money. I think that some of the spending is not worthy. I may think it's not worthy, but that's just not the way our government works. We have the Impoundment Control Act from 1974. We have Train v. New York City from 1974, which is a Supreme Court case.
The president is the only nationally elected official, so he should control all spending, declares MAGA podcaster Benny Johnson. Sam Seders' response: "That's literally not how the Constitution works." The entire studio goes silent. If you've ever wanted to see what happens when someone who actually understands government debates, people who just repeat talking points, this is your video. 3 against 1, and Sam still walks away, making them look like amateurs who failed civics class. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Let's talk about Elon Musk's big government fixing experiment that turns out to be more like my uncle's fishing stories. Wildly exaggerated, so Musk created this fancy sounding Department of Government Efficiency, and it's DOGE, because apparently everything this man touches needs a meme reference.
Just this whole Doge stuff with Elon Musk. You, I think, posted that the idea that Doge is in any way about efficiency is absolutely a joke.
Well, audits are done regularly of agencies by inspector generals. The first thing they did was to fire all those inspector generals and not replace them. You're clearly not talking about efficiency here as measured in any other way other than allowing wealthy people to get away with cheating on their taxes.
They made this massive announcement that they saved American taxpayers a whopping $8 billion. Champagne for everyone. Except, oops, it was actually $8 million. Now, I'm no math genius, but that's like claiming you lost 100 pounds when you actually lost 0.1 pounds. Technically, you didn't lie, you just moved a decimal point by 3 places. Honest mistake, right? Enter Sam Seder, who refused to let this slide on Piers Morgan's show. While the MAGA panel was ready to crown Musk as the king of fiscal responsibility, Sam brought receipts. Wait a minute. He basically said, there's a pretty big difference between billion and million, like 1,000 times difference.
Just this whole Doge stuff with Elon Musk. You, I think, posted that the idea that Doge is in any way about efficiency is absolutely a joke.
They've saved any money. It has been largely dismissed as clerical errors on their part, and we still have no substantiation about it. You're clearly not talking about efficiency here as measured in any other way other than allowing wealthy people to get away with cheating on their taxes.
The panel's reaction was priceless. Instead of addressing the fact that Doge's math skills would get them failed in a 3rd grade classroom, they immediately tried changing the subject faster than my cat runs from a vacuum cleaner. Suddenly they wanted to talk about, and I'm not making this up, transgender operas and other culture war topics.
Operas for trans people in
if the average American was interested in what USAID was supporting,
that we've never had in my lifetime.
None of this stuff was hidden at all. None of this stuff was hidden at all.
When the USAID is exposed in the fashion that it has been, and all of a sudden we have this transparency. So you're telling me that the average American knew that we were funding
classic distraction technique. When you can't defend the numbers, just yell, "But the woke agenda," and hope nobody notices. But Sam wasn't having it. He kept bringing the conversation back to the actual point. How can we trust these efficiency experts when they can't tell the difference between a billion and a million? That's like hiring a dietitian who thinks a grape and a watermelon are the same size.
President of the United States and the executive branch cannot decide unilaterally that they're not going to appropriate money that Congress has appropriated. What they're doing is fundamentally illegal. I mean, you may think that some of the spending is not worthy. I may think it's not worthy, but that's just not the way our government works. We have the Impoundment Control Act from 1974. We have Train v. New York City from 1974, which is a Supreme Court case which enforces that.
The MAGA panel, including fitness guru Jillian Michaels and right-wing commentator Benny Johnson, couldn't come up with a single defense for this numerical disaster. And you could see Jillian getting increasingly frustrated as Sam refused to let this go. Her face screamed, "Can we please talk about something else?" While Sam kept calmly pointing out that math is, you know, still math. What's really hilarious is that this Department of Government Efficiency can't even get their own accounting right. They're supposedly fixing the government, but they can't manage basic arithmetic. It's like hiring a plumber who shows up without tools and doesn't know what a pipe looks like.
And to say that USAID was simply...
You've said a lot of words, but you've said nothing. You haven't addressed the Constitution, the Supreme Court cases, the Impoundment Control Act.
And so, what America voted for was America first, and transgender operas in Chile isn't exactly America first.
None of that. You can say that you don't think it's right to feed starving children in Africa.
Trust me, I'll fix your whole house. Sure, buddy. As Sam continued hammering them with actual facts and figures, you could practically see Benny Johnson's face turning the color of a stop sign. Nothing is more infuriating to a talking point machine than someone who insists on sticking to verifiable reality. Poor Benny couldn't pivot to his prepared rants about the radical left because Sam kept bringing up this annoying little thing called evidence. But here's where it gets really interesting. This wasn't just a simple math error or a clerical mistake as they tried to claim. Sam exposed that the entire Doge operation isn't actually about saving taxpayer money at all. It's about dismantling government agencies that regulate Trump's wealthy donors. It's like claiming you're organizing the kitchen when you're actually just throwing away all the healthy food so you can fill the fridge with ice cream.
This was a slush fund for the CIA.
Well, actually, you know what? The truth is, you can both be right here.
Oh,
right?
Yes.
To be found. But Benny, it was only when Elon Musk and his young team of guys with their saber right, that it was there to be found. And Jillian's right that absolutely nobody told the American people about the specifics.
The supposed efficiency experts are really just there to kneecap any agency that might prevent billionaires from doing whatever they want. It's government efficiency in the same way that removing your car's brakes makes it more efficient at crashing. And that's what this whole saga really shows us, folks. When Sam Seder brought actual facts to the table, Piers Morgan's panel just couldn't handle it. It's like watching someone bring a calculator to a shouting match. Who knew basic math could be so triggering for the MAGA crowd? The next time your uncle at Thanksgiving dinner starts rambling about how some billionaire is going to fix government with magical efficiency, maybe ask them a simple question like, "Hey, do you know how many zeros are in a billion?" Because apparently that's too complicated for the geniuses trying to redesign our entire government. Let's be real, when someone gets caught in a lie this big and immediately tries changing the subject to culture war nonsense, they're not selling efficiency. They're selling snake oil with a side of distraction. Sam just wasn't buying it.